The green card process for a spouse of a U.S. citizen involves filing a multitude of petitions altogether with USCIS and having them process those applications and ultimately have the spouse and the applicant come in for an interview to determine that the marriage is a bona fide marriage. We've been seeing a trend, however, where if the documentation is very strong, USCIS may decide to waive the interview altogether, which is fantastic, but you can't go into things thinking that way. What happens in my office, for example, you come in, I provide you a checklist of the documentation that I'm going to need, both biographical information and proof of the marriage, and given a set of quotes and list of fees for USCIS that you'll need to gather. And then upon receipt of that information, my office will compile your documentation in a nice and neat, organized fashion, as well as enter your information into a program to complete your forms. Those forms involve the I-130, I-130A, I-485, I-131, and I-765, along with an I-864, which is the form where the U.S. citizen is declaring that they're going to take financial responsibility over you in the event that you're unable to become gainfully employed in the United States or rely on public benefits. And what happens is during about the first 6 months of processing time, six to 7 months of processing time, you're going to get a combo card, which is a work permit and travel document card in one, and that will enable you to work and travel while you're waiting for your green card interview, or to get the good news that an interview is not required. But if an interview is required, you're going to meet with me and discuss what kinds of questions are generally asked at these interviews. I don't prep you to a T, all right? Now, it's your responsibility to know your spouse, of course, but I do give you a framework of what to expect, and you'll be able to better prepare for your interview this way. And I'll also, at that point, see any supplemental documentation you may want to give to USCIS at your interview. If the interview goes well, the officer generally will provide you a sheet that says your case is awaiting adjudication, and hopefully by the end of the week you've received a notification that your card is being processed, and your green card will come to you very shortly thereafter. Sometimes, though, USCIS will ask for additional evidence and or send another type of notice, and that's why it's imperative that you have an attorney from the start, because someone who starts with you will know any issues in your case and be able to respond to USCIS according to what you think is going to win the case ultimately. And that's where having an attorney makes a huge difference, because I know my clients' cases front and back, and I'm ready to meet any burden or demand that is presented by USCIS.